Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first session of a series of video blogs introducing different leaders at flydocs, sharing their insights into the company, the aviation industry, and its digital transformation, emerging technologies, and automation. I'm Vicky Karpuzova, lead generation and campaign manager at flydocs, and I'm joined today by my fellow host and dear colleague, Kshitija Sharma, lead corporate communication at flydocs. In this first video Q&A, we have the pleasure of speaking with John Bowell, our Chief Commercial Officer at flydocs, about aircraft maintenance records and the benefits of going digital. John has spent almost 8 years at Virgin Atlantic Airways and 6.5 years at flydocs, and is currently our Chief Commercial Officer. Hi, John. Happy to have you here today. How are you doing?
Morning. Very good, thank you. How about both of you?
Yeah, good, thanks. So you've played both sides of the fence, having seen the traditional approach to aircraft maintenance and record keeping, and also the innovative digitized processes to maintaining aircraft records. So first of all, could you explain the significance of aircraft maintenance records and walk us through the traditional processes of aircraft auditing, maintenance, records keeping, and tracking that you've seen over your more than 14 years of experience in the aviation sector?
Yeah, I think it's there's two key avenues really that we need to look at here when we talk about maintenance records. First and most importantly is the compliance aspect. So we have obligations under various authorities globally to keep records to a standard to ensure safety aspects are met, and maintenance tasks dictated by the manufacturers are adhered to and delivered, and allow us to keep track of those should we have to have repetitive inspections or removals for components, for example, that may have life limits against them to ensure passenger safety. Then we have the asset side of it, when we're looking at the value of these assets. So if we talked about, if we had an aircraft with no maintenance records, or if it had holes in its maintenance records, that can devalue the, say, dollar amount that aircraft is worth. So it's imperative from that perspective to ensure, from a safety and compliance perspective, we have that documentation and records, and from an asset protection or value protection perspective, we keep all of our documents and data up to date.
Definitely, yeah. Okay, so the next question will be asked by Kshitija. Hi, Kshitija.
Thanks, Vicky. Hi, John.
Hiya.
So what has been the most cumbersome and the biggest pain point about the traditional approach, and how can that be improved to boost efficiency and productivity to save time?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's this in such a drive over the past really 10 years. When I first started doing this, it was all paper, and you had the postman turn up with bags and bags of mail off the aircraft or from the ramp, or boxes appear from an MRO, and you'd have to sort them and put them in order and make sure you've got all your cards, and then audit your task cards or tech logs, and then file your task cards and tech logs, maybe scan them. Some operators did, some didn't, some still don't. Then box them and then put them in an archive, wait for the archive to take them to like Iron Mountain or other archive facilities are available. So there was quite a cumbersome approach, and I think also some risk where we all lose paper. It happens, we're humans, and a little piece of paper in 5 pallets worth of records, it's inevitable that documentation will get lost or damaged. What we're seeing now is there's a 2 sort of stage approach when we're looking at digitalization, where we have operators still using traditional paper methods, but adopting systems similar to flydocs that allow them to scan their records and organize them in a productive, efficient way. So therefore, we're removing certain elements. We can always capture what's missing instantly. We can, with a click of a button now, I can see if I've lost a task card, if I've lost a tech log, whereas before I'd have to maybe recall a box and count lots of pages and, oh yeah, it is missing. So through that approach, what we're seeing is some efficiencies coming from when we're looking at compliance issues, airworthiness review certificates, lease returns, aircraft sales. We can access the data very quickly, we can access the documentation very quickly, and we can build in a structure that is recognized across the industry as a standard. So we use ATA, the Spec 2500s, we use the IATA leasing guidelines to build back to birth trace and support our customers with those guidelines to allow them to utilize the software to automatically build this. Then we have the more advanced areas of digital, where we've moved to electronic tech logs, we've moved to electronic task cards, e-signature. And that's the big game changer. That for me is the one that's really driving innovation into the industry, because what it's allowing us to do is remove all of that risk. The only risk that we truly have then is, do I have an adequate system and backup facilities to store this digital documentation? So again, you know, there's some schools of thought that said products like flydocs and others, do we need that anymore? Well, in my opinion, yes, because what it allows us to do is have a clear differentiation between our compliance and maintenance systems and our document and asset systems, to bring that safety net that, heavens forbid, someone spills a cup of coffee over your server and you've lost all of that data. At least when you're working with a recognized system, we have that infrastructure to ensure that all of your documentation in a digital content is captured and stored safely and is easily transferable at the point of transition, be it sale or lease return. So definitely encourage people to move down that route. I think you'll see significant efficiencies from an e-tech log, from an e-task card, and from a quality digital records management system.
Right. So, and how do the digital aircraft maintenance records work? How does flydocs software benefit commercial aircraft and MRO operators?
Yeah, so what we do is we take the pain away. You know, with the advanced technologies that we're using now, moving to Azure, machine learning, artificial intelligence. Again, I've got a digital image. Great. What can I do with it? So what flydocs allows you to do with it is take that pain away. Arguably, a desktop or an internal server with scanned PDFs is equally as challenging as a box of paper. Search functionality is not there, automation's not there, machine learning's not there, the artificial intelligence isn't there, and flydocs brings all that in. So all of your digital content, all of the metadata associated to those documentation through the OCR and other technologies we apply to documents uploaded into the platform, be it digital or paper, allow for the system to do this for you, to take that pain away. Lease returns, for example, are typically a challenge for people. We have two different organizations looking at the same goal to get the aircraft back, but we have different approaches on how we do that. Some airlines not necessarily keep the documentation to a commercial transaction standards, but they meet the requirements of airworthiness. So there's always that difference. That can cause pain, that can cause cost for both sides. You know, no one benefits from this type of activity. But again, using a system like flydocs, you can easily update that. We can guide our customers and clients through that process of the differences between an airworthiness audit and a commercial transaction audit, and there is some differences there. So I think with flydocs, not only are you getting the technological advances and technology leader in the space, but we also have an arm of engineers with vast experience in camo, Part M regulations, records management, transition management. So there's always that support cycle somewhere within the business that can help, whether you need an API designed and developed for your software, or you need some guidance and support on back to birth trace for an engine LLP.
Yeah. You sort of answered this already, but with the number of competitors that have emerged recently, How is flydocs different from other record management software providers?
Well, it's interesting. I think when I first started looking, there was 2, 3 providers of the software, and there is quite a few now, and there seems to be more coming along. What's the difference? I think experience counts for a lot. We've been there since day one. We really disrupted the market with our product when we released it, sort of 15 years ago. Something like that, 12, 15 years ago. It's a real disruptor to the market to bring in automation. I don't think that had been done before. They were very much static systems that you could just store a document on. And flydocs really changed the way in which we can utilize this data and information from a maintenance perspective with technology to bring solutions to customers rather than just a piece of software. We understand what your problem is. We have a team of experts from aviation, from IT. We understand the problems. We're listening to our customers and we're providing solutions for our customers. I think when you look at what we're doing now as well, and some of the technology, I know Carl's part of this series and he'll probably touch on that further down the line, but some of the new innovation that team are bringing in is fantastic. It's going to, again, I believe, disrupt the market yet again, and the way that we can now look at bringing a holistic solution to market for asset management. We're not just a records scanning company. We're not just a storage solution that's online. We can bring you that integrated, holistic system that will work with other products that you have in your organization. So, we were already doing a lot of integrations with the likes of Amos, Trax, MXI, and others. And now it's that, how do we bring all of this data together and work with companies, so like Aviation, one of our sister companies at Lufthansa Technik, to bring that sort of digital powerhouse to say whether you need predictive maintenance, records management, M&E planning systems, the group can provide you all of that, along with the technical services and everything else that we have behind our group that can support the industry. So I think that's the real differentiator, is that flydocs, being part of that bigger Lufthansa group, allows us to say, if you want free of charge software to store your records, we can help you. If you want a fully serviced lease return with ferry flights and MRO slots and paint, we can help you. That big group picture is a real, for me, a key advantage over some of the other people in that market.
So John, what are the benefits you would like to share that our customer base gets from our record management solution?
I think it's the flexibility that we offer to our clients. We do a fair amount of bespoke work for our customers, which comes with its challenges. At times we have 2 very competing personas when we talk about this. So we have a software engineer who's very agile and quick fix, and we've got 70% of it, let's roll it out and see how we go, versus an aircraft engineer's persona, which is safety, and unless it's 100%, we're not going to have it. So sometimes we have some clashes during those phases, and it comes with some challenges, but I think some of the outcomes have been fantastic, where we've worked with operators who've had problems transitioning aircraft. They now transition aircraft on time all the time. We've had some challenges around adoption of mobile solutions, so M&E mobile platforms, very new technology. We've got some key early adopters across the industry. Fortunate for flydocs, a few of those are clients of ours. So we've really helped to bring from a paper background to a fully digital mobile solution, and that's a great success story for me.
Really interesting and good food for thought for all of us. Right. Well, John, that's all we have time for today. Thanks very much for the insights and interesting discussion. We appreciate your time. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, John.
Take care. Have a good day. Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye.